Hello, class. I want to navigate through our physical science. So, welcome to physical science. And I'm Professor Lisa Batiste. I'm your professor for this term. And if you look on your dashboard, you'll see your class. I have a lot of classes here, but let's go to the physical science class. So, as you click on that, you'll get this homepage where you'll see the announcements, recent announcements. You'll also see the GMC logo, our class here. You'll see some information about myself, my name, email, phone number where you can call or text, and my office hours. These office hours may change from term to term, but this is where you'll find them. And then some important dates. Also, these important dates may change from term to term, but this is where you will find them. The informative assessment how-to videos, these are for the labs, okay? And so that will be placed there. This navigating through Canvas, that's what I'm doing now. You'll find the link there. And then for each of these will take you directly to the different weeks. So our PAHV, that's our participation academic honesty verification. And so this you will do at the beginning of week one. Very important that you do that because this allows you access to all of the weeks in the course. Okay, so it's very important that you do this. Also, this is how we take attendance that you've participated in the class itself. And so the registrar's office will look at towards the end of week one to see that the students have participated with the PAHV. Once they've done that, then they will be free to stay in the course. If you haven't completed the PAHV, the registrar's office will say that you are not present in the class and they will purge you from the class. So it's very important, not only for this class, but all of your classes that you complete that PAHV. Once you are purged from a class for not completing the PAHV, you can you can petition to be reinstated in the class, but it is up to the professor to let you back in. So to avoid not being let back into the class, you want to make sure that you complete the PAHV. Okay. Other things that you'll have access to, this is week zero that we're in right now until week one starts. And so if you click on week zero, this is the getting started. And so you will have how to be successful in this course, the Writing Nook, GMC library, the student resources. So if we look at the GOC student resources, okay, so this is going to open in a new window. And so when you go here, you will see some information that will be helpful to you as a student. So this is the link to Canvas, and this is if you're having technical difficulties with either the portal or your email account, then make sure that you click on here. That takes you to the help desk for GMC. And then some useful forms, request to receive an incomplete form for the class. This is that reinstatement form that I was telling you about, that if you get purged from the class for the PAHV, then you would go here and click on the reinstatement form. Academic appeals form is right there. The calendar, academic programs, our catalog, disability services. This is our GMC help desk. That's for those account issues. Library database guides. We do have a research paper in this class, so the library database and the guides, as well as the writing center that we have here at GMC, will be helpful for you. ProQuest eBook Central, okay, the Georgia Career Information System, all of these student email transcripts. So go through this. This has a wealth of really good information that we provide for our students. Here's that Writing Nook access, APA style, okay, because our paper that we're doing for the class will need to be formatted in an APA style. So make sure if you're not familiar with that style of writing, make sure that you click on that to understand a little bit more about it. You can always ask me if you need help. There's some library guides that are good. Doing research, copywriting, plagiarism examples, paraphrasing and quotings, time management, types of writing. So all of these to help you as a student. Okay. So make sure you go through that. That's information that is available to you. So going back to the modules, as you see here on the left bar, you can always click to reach different things that you need. You can either go home, you can go to modules to get to the different sections for the class. And so other things that are in here, the library, student resources, we looked at that, critical thinking forum guidelines. So let's go through that. Okay, so these are some general guidelines on what you want to look, what you want to set up your critical thinking forums to be like. Okay, and this is how they are graded. So I'm gonna go through what will give you all the points. Okay, because that's what we're striving for. And so you have your peer-to-peer interactions. At least two replies were made to a peer or the instructor. So that'll give you 5 points. Contributed to the forum on at least 2 days. So what I like to tell students, if you respond to the initial forum by the due date, by the deadline, and then one of your peers, and then on another day, you respond to your second peer, then you will get the 5 points for this. Okay. And then the content relevance. So all posts conveyed a clear understanding of the forum's primary topic, indicated by the correct use of terminology, valid reasoning, and or evidence to substantiate claims and or opinions. So the evidence would be a reference that you used to back up whatever you're claiming for your particular post. And it says all posts. So that doesn't mean just your initial post, but all posts means your initial post and your two responses to your peers. Okay. And it says all posts were at least 150 words in length. The 150 words will give you that substantiated claims. It'll give you a good reply as well as a good initial post. Okay. And so some suggestions for the 150 words, especially when you are replying to your peers, you can include information that you used in your own post. You could use a reference with some information from the reference that'll help you gain that 150 words. Okay, so for the full 5 points, all of this needs to be included. And then the final thing is to respond to the main topic by the deadline. That'll give you 5 points. So in week one, the deadline for the main topic is the Friday after week one starts. So week one starts on during the beginning of the week. That Friday at the end of the week is when that initial post is due. For weeks 2 through week 8, then the initial post is due on Wednesday. So it's very important that you note that it switches starting week 2 to Wednesday. And so make sure that you have your main topic in by the deadline. Okay. So you can get that full 5 points because we don't want to lose any points from our critical thinking forum. We want all full points. All right. So then other information. So you have the link for the textbook for the class. We have the online text, and then we have it here where it will download onto your computer. And then the introduction discussion forum. And so in this introduction discussion forum, you see some students have already introduced themselves. And so you will introduce yourself. You'll see that I'll have a video posted and to tell you a little bit about myself. And then you're going to answer these questions. Are you a first-time online student? What do I need to know about you to best support you through this course? What are some potential obstacles you may encounter in this term and within this course? What skills and or knowledge do you hope to gain from taking this course? And how will you apply the knowledge or skills you gain from the course in the future? Also, if you have a fun fact about yourself that you want to share with me in the class, please post that as well. You can write it out like you see here, or you can do a video like I did. Either way, introduce yourself. So going back to the modules. All right, so that will be week 0. Okay, so that'll be the information that you'll see during week 0. So if we go to the next thing, which is the syllabus. So in the syllabus, you will see my information here at the top and a little introduction about myself, a little bit more about me. You will also see a link to the help desk and to the portal as well. My information here, because I am the department chair for this department, you'll see that information here as well. In your other classes, you'll see the department chair information for that particular class as well. So if you're unable to reach the professor, if they're not getting back with you within 24 hours, because all professors should get back with you within 24 hours. If they are not, okay, then you can contact their senior department chair. The course description, it's an introductory course to physical science, drawing its material from the elements of physics and chemistry. Stress is given to the basic principles and laws of physical science, not open to students who have college credit in either chemistry or physics. Okay, this is in lieu of those two classes. So the course learning objectives, the student will be able to discuss and demonstrate the principles concerning the following topics. A basic concepts concerning measurements and the use of standard units, mechanics, linear and rotational motion, force, Aristotelian and Galilean, Newton's law of mechanics, transformation and conservation of energy, momentum and its conservation, friction, electricity, static, current, AC and DC, circuits, series and parallel, optics, heat, sound, and then the course content, basic concepts of measurements, mechanics, electricity, optics, heat, excuse me, sound, modern physics, and chemistry. And then this is the link to our textbook. So you see there's multiple links to the textbook. Okay. And then this is the information about what you need for your computer. Okay, whether it be a PC or a Mac. And then we have access to Microsoft Office as online students. You can download it as a free download for you. So this is the link on how to download it to your computer. Okay, very important that you have it because you will need it for some of the assignments in the class. All right. And then also Acrobat Adobe Reader. Here's a link for that and an antivirus software. Okay, so that are the software applications you need for your computer. Very important because this is an online class that you do have a reliable internet connection. Very important. All right. And then our performance criteria, 25% for the critical thinking forums. So because it is a weighty portion of the class, we do want to make sure that you're not missing any of your critical thinking forums, that you're mindful that you are getting all of those points, okay? Because you don't want to miss those points. That could be a huge impact on your final grade. The labs and the term papers, those are also 25%. So with those two things, that's half of your grade. So very important that you submit your lab reports. Very important that you do those critical thinking forums. The quizzes, 30% of your grade. The practice exercises, 10%. The final exam is 10%, okay? For 100%. And then 90 to 100 is an A, 80 to 89 is a B, 70 to 79 is a C, 65 to 69 is a D, and less than 65 is an F, but we don't want to get that. All right. So then important information about academic grade appeal is listed here, and then expectations of me as a faculty. So this is what I am expected to do, okay? And then expectations of you as a student. This is what you're expected to do. So make sure you read through those. Our ethics code, the honor code for GMC is I will not lie, cheat, steal, or tolerate those who do. So make sure you read through what that ethics code is. All right. And then here is a weekly overview of what we'll be doing each week. So week one, okay, which starts next week. This week we will introduce to measurements. We'll perform basic unit conversions, solve elementary physics equations, and basic problems involving concepts related to motion and equilibrium. State the difference between vectors and scalars and give examples. We'll be working through these chapters. There's some videos that are available to you so that you can understand the material a little bit better. And then these are the assignments and activities that you'll be working on for week one. And you'll see for each week, it's lined out so that you have a heads up of what information you'll be using for that particular week. Then the authentic servant leadership at GMC. We are striving to be authentic servant leaders as well as be able to recognize these skills in others. And so these are the characteristics of an authentic servant leader: civility, ethical thinking, humility, critical thinking, empathy, effective communication, and emotional intelligence. And so read through this information. It gives you a little bit more information about authentic servant leaders. In this class, as well as your other classes here at GMC, you will have an assignment that is geared toward looking at authentic servant leadership and applying it. The critical thinking forums, we did go through those guidelines as well as the rubric for that. And then down here is the course summary. So you will see the date that assignments are due, okay, and the time that they are due by. And then also for each of these assignments, this is a quick link to them. So you can click on it and it'll take you right to that assignment. So it gets you all the way to week 8. Very important. In week 8, you see that the assignments are due by 9 a.m., which is different from all the other weeks where it was due by 11:59 p.m. So make a note of that, that on the last day of school, your assignments will be due by 9 a.m. Announcements. This is where you will find all the announcements for this class. Okay, they will be listed here. You can also find the latest 3 announcements on that homepage. Okay. The modules I showed you before, you will see all the modules for all the different weeks. Okay, will be listed here. The assignments, this is just a quick link to all of your assignments. Okay, you can find them here. You can also find them within the modules. The difference between your assignments here and through the modules is in the modules is where you will find all the important information that'll help you understand the material for the class. So you'll find those video links, you will find overview of the objectives and the textbook reading information. All of that you will find here under modules. Okay, so week 1, you will see the objectives, the overview, the different reading material that we'll be doing for that particular week. Okay, you'll find that in the modules. Here you'll click on, you'll find your grades for the class. BrainFuse is our free online tutoring, okay, Very important, not only for this class, but all your classes. We have this free online tutoring to help you with your classes, okay? And so you will go here. It comes up with my information because I'm logged on, but because you'll be logged on as a student, it'll come up with your information. You will be able to get one-on-one help with the tutor, or you can do a group session. And so all of this is available to you as a free service because you are a student at GMC. So very important. All right, people, you can see your access to students, okay, in the class. All right. And so other things, the library, writing nook, okay, that'll be available to you as well. All right. And so I'm going to go back home. So that is navigating through physical science. If you have any questions, again, this is my contact information. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. And like I said, I will get back with you within 24 hours, generally sooner than that. Unless it's on Sunday. I do not get back with students on Sunday, but I will get back with you on Monday. So have an awesome term, and I am excited to have you in our class. Bye bye.